However, the forced 50-50 win rates and losers queue feels real. Whether it's real or not, I don't know, but it feels real, and that's the problem. Even if it wasn't real, let's say, for example, it is not real, right? Which it most likely isn't. The fact that it feels real is enough for it to almost be real. And if it's feeling real, then it feels terrible. I'll get gamer words that I can't say in the first 15 seconds because then I'll be demonetized. We're going to talk about forced loss today, or like the 50-50 win rate stuff. Now, do I think it's real, first of all? I have absolutely no idea. I will say it feels like it's real, but that's obviously not good enough to say whether it is or it isn't. So for now, we're just going to say it's not real. However, I want to go over the fact that it feels real, okay? So I did some searching on Reddit, and I found, I believe, 6 Reddit posts, all talking about the same thing, and I think they're all recent too, I believe. Starting off with this one from Octavian. Is anyone else experiencing really long win/loss streaks? Me. I talk about this in my videos all the time. In my Is It Rigged video about Overwatch Ranked, I explained that there were a lot of scenarios where I was winning 6 in a row, getting to my 7th win, and then losing tons of games in a row for no reason. And it wouldn't be a situation where I was playing worse, or I don't know, there was no like massive discrepancies in my gameplay, because it typically only happens on accounts that are lower rated. The lower rated the account is, the more it happens, but only to a certain degree. So for example, in Platinum, it will happen, like my teammates will get drastically worse after the 6th win, but it's gold, so it doesn't matter. I'll just kill anything anyway, I kill everything anyway, and we'll just win. But for example, in Masters, if I queue in a Masters game, and I've got 5, obviously the actual SR doesn't matter anymore, it's about your hidden MMR now. So technically speaking, even though their SR is low, their MMR could technically be like really high, but that's not what I want to talk about. So technically, so I could queue up and I will get like 4 complete morons in Masters, and I say that as like respectfully as possible, because I understand if people are a certain way, I doubt they would be deliberately playing poorly. So they must be trying their best in most cases, and either just be having rough games, or they're ranked too highly, or something like that. I don't want to be like, oh, you're horrible, dude, because they're probably trying their best, and if they're trying their best, I mean, it is what it is, right? But like, I'll queue up, and I'll have DPS who are going like really negative. I'll have supports dying constantly, using their cooldowns wrong, wasting ults, terrible positioning, or I'll have Ana players with like 20% accuracy and I'm just not getting any heal because they can't hit a shot. Or I'll have DPS insta-locking Sojourn and then going 5 and 15 or something like that. A lot of games are just super rough, especially after the 6th win. Like when I'm working towards the 6th win, it's actually super easy. Like it's not remotely difficult, especially on my Masters account. Like, so my Masters account right now this is hilarious, is Diamond 2. It deranked from Diamond 1. So what happened was, I got to Masters 2 with basically a 100% win rate almost, probably in the 95 region on basically every hero. And then as soon as I hit Masters 2, loss after loss after loss after loss. And then I deranked from Masters 2 to Masters 5, and then Masters 5 to Diamond 1. And then I stayed Diamond 1 twice after, like, going... I went, like, 21... No, I went, like... What did I go? I think I remember I went 21 and, like, 5, and I deranked to Diamond 2 afterwards. And then I kept playing, and then in my video where it means Sarah... and we're playing, and she says that pasta is noodles, there was a lot of throwers in that game. In that session, we played 5 hours, by the way. I've deleted the footage now. I may be able to recover it, maybe. But we played 5 hours that day. We played maybe, I don't know, like 10 games or so. And it was awful. Every game was throwers or levers or shit like that. And then as soon as, after like a certain amount of losses, easy game. 30, 40, 50 kills a game, no deaths, just slaughtering lobbies. Then I queue up the next day, go straight back to the loss streaks. Sojourn not killing anything. We have a guy locking Genji who doesn't even build Blade in a round. It's like, it feels terrible. But anyway, to the actual point of the video is to look at some of these Reddit posts. So he says, I'm an Ana Zen main. My rank is constantly yo-yoing between Gold 5 and Plat 5. That's what my Masters account is doing. I jump between low Grandmaster and High Diamond constantly. And my top 500 account, like my main, doesn't really move. Like, the thing is I'll win games, but I lose about an equal amount of games-ish in most cases. Most of the time, I'm still maintaining like a 55% win rate. In most cases, sometimes I'll go on a loss streak, but then I'll get all the wins back. So he says, wins and losses always happens in streaks of 5 or even 10 plus games. Similar thing to me. It's far more frequent than could be happening by chance. I've played over 60 hours and 300 games this season. I've tried really hard to examine my own gameplay and see if I'm doing anything different from positioning, cooldown usage, and just hitting shots. I don't feel like I'm doing anything different in my games, and the difference between Gold 5 and Plat 5 seems much too large for it to just be good days and bad days. At this point, I'm wondering if anyone else is having experience and something is up with the matchmaker, or if anyone else has other ideas. By the way, I'm like really dyslexic, so my reading's kind of slow. Sorry if that's annoying. You can like put the video on 2x speed if you want. This has been talked about a lot, but yeah, recently I had a 9-game loss streak followed by a 12-game win streak this season. Most people play a lot of comp have noticed this. I'm pretty sure Blizzard is putting people into losers queue if they are winning a streak and force them into 50-50 win rate, because apparently that makes people play more. I haven't touched rank for a while because it doesn't feel like I have much of an impact on terms of if I claim or not. I have good games and bad games, and sometimes do water games, but it feels like the outcome of the games probably would have been the same regardless of my performance. This is very similar to me. And another video, and my Is It a Rigged video, I had put in a clip of me on Hog, and I think we were on, I forget what the map's called, I don't care about the maps, it's the push map. And I'm on Hog, and I'm like 19-3, and my DPS are both negative, and both of my supports have like 7 deaths in 5 minutes. Like, it's an atrocious game. It's an atrociously badly balanced game. Horrifically badly balanced. Like, it doesn't make sense. My DPS are getting hardcore giga diffed. It's not even, there's no argument for it. There's no saying like, oh, but maybe there's just a bit of a tank diff, and oh, you're getting tank diffed, so your DPS aren't performing well. But it's like, if I'm getting tank diff, then I'm not going to be 20-3 or 19-3 or whatever I was, right? That's not going to happen. There's no way over the course of like 6 minutes I'm 19-3 and both of my DPS are negative. That's not a tank diff. That's a DPS diff. I'm the only human killing anyone. I should have put the whole clip in, like the entire thing. I might have the footage still. I'll have a look, and if you've seen it in this video, I still have it. If you haven't seen it, then I haven't kept it. But basically, what happened is every fight I'm killing like 3 or 4 players. It's not like I would hook someone, kill them, force all the cooldowns, walk in, kill someone, hook someone, kill someone, and then kill someone, and we were still losing fights. Like, it was really bad. There was a clear difference in my team ability and the enemy teams, and it wasn't questionable either. And it's not like this is uncommon. This happens all the time. It's not even remotely like it's like, oh, it's one in every 10 games. It's not. It's either every game or every other game. It's really bad. The matchmaking is really bad. Next post. Is it normal for sets to start off good, then get really bad as time goes on? Exactly what I say. I don't know if it's just that I autopilot after playing for extended periods of time, but pretty much all my sets start off with going 4-0 or 5-0, exactly as I said. And then I start losing a ton, and I finish 7-5 or 7-6. Exactly what I said. I'll get 6 wins, and then I lose a ton. Always. The first 6 wins are easy. On the Masters account, anyway. On my Masters account, so easy. So easy. Then I get to my 6th win, and that's it. The games are awful quality. Truly awful quality. I'll have throwing teammates, DCers, of people going double negative, of people just wasting all their abilities, of people walking in 1v5 killing. It's like my team go from being Masters players to being like low diamond, like metal rank, like plat players, right? And I'm still going against Masters players. And they're just getting like turbo diffed. It's not even like the amount of times I've queued up, and in the first 5 seconds of the game, looking at everyone in the game, knowing if I was going to win or lose, is a little ridiculous. I shouldn't be able to press tab in the first 5 seconds and know if I'm going to win the game or not. That's really, really dumb. That shouldn't be the case. I went 6-0 and then had to go to bed because I had work in the morning. Ended that set 7-13. Yeah, exactly similar to me. Okay, next. Game is pushing me for win streaks. Okay, actually, let's see the difference between these posts. This was made 2 days ago. This was made 1 day ago. This was made 5 days ago. Okay. I recently went on a 13-game win streak, and now I'm being forced to play against people who are 2 entire tiers above me. I'm currently Diamond 2, and I'm being forced to play against High Masters, Low Grandmaster DPS players every single game. I went from having a 76% win rate to not even be able to win half my games. This is completely ridiculous. I have to sweat my ass off just to lose most of my games now. I can only play 4 of the heroes in my pool, Tracer, Soldier, and Ashen Widow, all very, very good heroes, or else I just get instantly deleted. If I try to play Fire or Sim, the enemy heads can just instantly delete me as soon as my head pops out. Why am I having to play against GM players when I'm in Diamond? How is that fair? I have to beat people 2 entire tiers above me just to rank up. Obviously, this is an MMR thing, so probably what's happened is he queued, dumpstered a bunch of Diamond players, game said, wow, this guy must be really good, we're going to give him GM MMR, because we already know hidden MMR is super volatile, which is another reason it's kind of a joke. It's super easy to manipulate it. So this guy's obviously won a ton, and the game's put him in Grandmaster MMR. Whether this is a win streak thing, I'm not sure. This is more so you just did really well in a lower rank, and then it's just giga turbo boosted your MMR. So I don't think this is actual evidence for like a 50-50 win thing, but it's something to look at, obviously. The fact you've got 76% win rate in Diamond, high Diamond, and then you're getting turbo stomped by low GMs isn't really that crazy to me, but I just thought it was an interesting post. Next post, losers/winners queue. Now this is 3 months old, so we're on the older side here. Hi guys, I recently played some Overwatch Ranked and noticed that I have a lot of winning streaks, 3 to 5 wins followed by losing streaks, 5 to 7 losses. I also noticed the same with some streamers complaining about the issue, so I was wondering if there's a winners/losers queue to make the game more addictive. Dude, after losing 5 games in a row, I was put into a match where the other team barely tried to get on the point, like Blizzard themselves just tossed me a bone or something. So I felt like a loss. This has been a thing since Overwatch 1. If you win a few games in a row, eventually you'll get extremely unbalanced teams. You'll be in plat rank, but the teammates you get play like silvers. It's very obvious you lose the next 2-3 games, and it's going to be a one-sided stump. After that, all of a sudden the tables are turned, and you get games where it feels like you go AFK, and your mates will carry you to a win. I've been saying this for years. Now, is it 50-50 win rate? I think it's less likely to be that and more likely to just be horrible matchmaking. So I don't think it's necessarily malicious. I don't think they're actually like, hey, let's force people into a 50-50 win rate. Obviously, that could be what's happening, but I think it's more likely to be the matchmaking just sucks. So another thing to look at, obviously, it is a little strange that this would happen. Next post. I feel like in Overwatch 2, losers queue is a real thing. Face it, you have your fair share of losses and wins. It happens all the time. Sometimes you go on a winning or losing streak, which recently in Overwatch 2 seems to be happening quite a lot. It does. Haven't you noticed it? I sure have, and I'm sure you have too. Sometimes you have winning and losing streaks. It happens, but since the release of Overwatch 2, I've been having games where I get gold 3s, gold 1s on my team, or low plats. I'm diamond 4. Weird, right? Now I'm wondering, do you guys believe the losers queue is real? I often get games where people are obviously having many bad games or just throwing, and I would like to hear stories from many of you, please. Yes, true. This happens all the fucking time in my games, and it's kind of miserable. I can't lie. Yeah, I mean, this isn't new. I mean, this has been happening. I mean, because the thing is just, I don't want to be like conspiracy theory Andy, right? I don't want to be like, they're forcing you to lose. Elo hell is real, guys. It's real. It's because it's probably not, but like, it's super weird. It's super weird. Like, it's difficult to see this many statistically improbable things occurring so commonly, and then, like, powering it off to be statistics and probability, just saying, like, it's probable that it would happen, millions of games are played a day, therefore you're likely to get more streaks, because probability-wise it's more likely to happen. Obviously, yes, but, like, to this degree is insane. Like, you would think statistically-wise, or probability-wise, it would be less likely for me to go 6 wins, tons of losses, multiple times in a row, than it would for the streaks to be random. But they aren't random. It's always 6 wins, and then impossible games until I get to my 6th, 7th, 8th loss, and then it goes back to being super easy again. It doesn't make sense. There's no reason for that. The only reason it would happen is if it was an MMR thing. Now, I'd be willing to accept that, right? Oh, the reason I'm losing more is because I'm going against harder players and I'm not good enough. I could maybe accept that. My problem is, this happens on a Masters account. My main account, as I've shown in... I don't think I've actually shown screenshots of my main, but I showed a screenshot of my Ana Banana account, where it was supposed to be my Ana One Trick account. It was top 10 DPS, like top 30 tank, I believe, and In the video, the screenshot was kind of old, so it was 140 support, I think, but it's down to top 50 support now. And it's like, you're telling me as a very high top 500 player, I'm struggling in Masters after a win streak? Like, I find that hard to believe, because I can streak in very high top 500, and surely I can, like, I never had a problem in Overwatch 1 either, but I can win so many games in a higher elo. It doesn't make sense. Why do I struggle more in a lower elo than I do in a higher elo? The only way I could see that happening is if there's either like a 50-50 win rate thing, a loser's queue thing, or somehow my higher elo account is lower MMR. And the way they balance out MMR is they just go, you are, for example, you are 1000 MMR and you're going against 700 MMR players, so we're going to give you like 450 MMR teammates, and that'll like balance it out, or whatever the math is, doesn't matter, right? And you would think like, oh, that balances it, but it doesn't. It just, the game is just terrible. You get rolled, it's boring, okay? And that's kind of my issues. It doesn't really make any sense. Like, this isn't like a thing that people aren't experiencing. This is like a lot of people talking about the same thing, and obviously, probability wise, it will probably happen, okay? Like, the chances of it happening are probably way more likely than I give it credit. However, it still feels terrible. Like, my main issue is that I will queue in Masters and struggle, but when I queue in top 500, like 5000 SR top 500, it's, by the way, I don't know if, basically, I think it's patched now, I think it's fixed, but basically, what happened was, when they changed the rank system over to this rank system, basically, let me explain. So in Overwatch 1, if you were like 4700, 4600, it would take like 2.5 to 3 wins to make up for every loss. So hitting 5000 SR was basically impossible. Like, you had to be unbelievably good at the game to even come close to it. That's why near the end of Overwatch 1, peak top 500 was like 4500, 4400. Because A, no one was playing, and B, the only people who were playing who were really, really good at the game. So, like, basically everyone was kind of just, like, halting each other's progress. But yeah, in Overwatch 1, the closer you were to 5000 SR, the more you would lose SR, and the more you would, or the less you would gain SR. So back then, you would, if you were 4700 and you won, you would get, like, 10 SR. But if you lost, you would lose, like, 25 SR. Like, it was a big deal. Like, it was huge. But basically, when they made the switch to Overwatch 2, they kind of removed that, so you could hit 5000 SR. That's why the leaderboard, you would see someone rank camp, like, that's why, like, the top 30 players in each region never moved. Their position would never, ever move. They were always the same place. The rank 1 player would be rank 1 all season. Rank 2 player would be rank 2 all season. And the reason for that is because they were all 5000 SR. All of them. Like, basically everyone in top 50 was 5000 SR, which meant no one could overtake anyone because everyone was the same SR. That's why people would hit, like, they'd hit like position 35, and they would never move. They could win every single game, they would never move. It was terrible. It was super bad. But I believe they patched it now. I think it's back to the old system where the winning gains you less SR, and losing makes you lose more the higher you are, so people won't be rank camping as much, because obviously if you lose a game it's going to be detrimental. But and there's no more, and the 5000 SR cap thing was dumb anyway. It was like, the fact that you could just hit 5000 SR on Overwatch 2 and rank camp through the rest of the season was dumb. It didn't make sense. You shouldn't hit 5000 SR, and it's like, just no one can overtake you. However, the forced 50-50 win rates and losers queue feels real. Whether it's real or not, I don't know, but it feels real, and that's the problem. Even if it wasn't real, let's say, for example, it is not real, right? Which it most likely isn't. The fact that it feels real is enough for it to almost be real. And if it's feeling real, then it feels terrible. So it could be real, but not feel real, and it would probably be swept under the rug, and people would be fine with it. But it's the fact that it feels real. That's the issue. It feels real, and that's my problem. It doesn't feel good to play ranked. It feels terrible to play ranked. Ranked is terrible. It's in such a bad state. It's a joke. Anyway, dude, this was me being a conspiracy theorist for however long this video is. I'll see you guys later.